leading voice of the Caribbean hospitality and tourism industry's private sector.
At Interval International, we're in the business of powering vacations. With endless travel possibilities and world-class service, we provide the inspiration. We power exchange with some 3,200 resorts across 90 countries worldwide, so members explore new places with flexibility. We power getaways with irresistible savings on spacious accommodations in bucket list destinations. We power cruises with hundreds of sailings and our best price guarantee. We power travel with a rich suite of vacation products, including certificates and travel memberships, hotels, cars, flights, tours, activities, and so much more. Because we believe in time well spent and travel well planned. Let's connect people to their best vacations. Interval International. We power vacations.
Having the edge in the hotel industry is all about quality data. It's the difference between knowing and guessing. Now, there's a new standard of success, CoStar, and its powerful benchmark solution. Benchmarking insights so you can react quicker to market trends. Instant, full commercial real estate visibility to generate new opportunity. Secure collaboration to share key insights for smarter decisions. Competitive data and analytics to power your commercial strategy. Trusted data powered by more than 80,000 hotels. Almost 40 years of hotel industry and commercial real estate partnership. Tracking over 10.5 million rooms around the world and 7.3 million commercial properties. It's time you had the edge. Get started today.
CHTA, the leading voice of the Caribbean hospitality and tourism industry's private sector.
At Interval International, we're in the business of powering vacations. With endless travel possibilities and world-class service, we provide the inspiration. We power exchange with some 3,200 resorts across 90 countries worldwide, so members explore new places with flexibility. We power getaways with irresistible savings on spacious accommodations in bucket list destinations. We power cruises with hundreds of sailings and our best price guarantee. We power travel with a rich suite of vacation products, including certificates and travel memberships, hotels, cars, flights, tours, activities, and so much more. Because we believe in time well spent and travel well planned. Let's connect people to their best vacations. Interval International. We power vacations.
Having the edge in the hotel industry is all about quality data. It's the difference between knowing and guessing. Now, there's a new standard of success. CoStar and its powerful benchmark solution. Benchmarking insights so you can react quicker to market trends. Instant, full commercial real estate visibility to generate new opportunity. Secure collaboration to share key insights for smarter decisions. Competitive data and analytics to power your commercial strategy. Trusted data powered by more than 80,000 hotels. Almost 40 years of hotel industry and commercial real estate partnership. Tracking over 10.5 million rooms around the world and 7.3 million commercial properties. It's time you had the edge. Get started today.
and welcome to CHTA's 2024 Annual General Meeting. We appreciate your assistance and patience while we did the check-in and the quorum as well. At this point, we just want to go over some few housekeeping notes to help us maximize the time during our meeting today. We ask that you please keep yourself muted and use the raise hand feature, which you can find on the bottom area under React. Use the chat box function to post any questions, comments, but also monitor the chat as we will be sharing some documents for reference. The agenda has been shared as well, and we encourage you to enable your video so that we can engage with you throughout the meeting. At this point, I would like to invite our president, Nicola Marin Gregg, to take us through the agenda and the meeting.
Morning, everyone. Thank you, Vanessa. I'm really happy to be here with you all, and thank you for getting up this early for the meeting. And just want to start off by saying a warm congratulations, which I'm sure many of you have already shared with Vanessa on her appointment as CEO. So we are just wanting to say congrats to you again, Vanessa, as we move into our AGM. All right, I'm going to share my screen in a minute. I think we have reached quorum, so we should be fine to go ahead. Just okay, are you seeing my screen, guys?
Yes, we are.
Oh, perfect. Let's just get the slideshow started. All right. I said morning again, everyone. You can unmute and say good morning. We allow you for this 1 second.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yay. I feel like we're together now, you know, before it was like radio silence. So great. Let's move right into it. So I'm just going to go through my morning presentation as well as a few remarks. And I thought it would be good, as we start this AGM, just to go a little bit back in time and look at what the WTCC was saying in regards of where Caribbean tourism would be based on their forecast report going into 2032. So we have really achieved a lot. We have had a good year coming out of COVID, and it has been through the effort of each and every one of you. We are looking forward into the future where the WTCC Economic Impact Report says that we can double our GDP as well as have an additional 1.32 million jobs. And it's going to be a challenge. It has some obviously constraints that we have to take into consideration, but we continue to move forward. When we approached 2024 this year, we had an outlook that was forecast for an unprecedented level of resort in development and investment. Our Q1 had some headwinds in terms of travel advisories that impacted both directly and indirectly the growth in 2024. We were paying a close watch on the US economy and the potential recession, as well as looking at the global instability due to the Ukraine-Russia war and the Israel and Hamas war. We had concerns about the US election potentially slowing demand, and of course, as always, looking at the impact of the hurricane season. When we look at our 2023 results, we see that we did rebound over 2022, and the Caribbean had growth in 2023, and this has been continuing into 2024. So the news was good. As a committee and as executive, we looked at our key KPIs for 2024. We wanted to ensure that we had arrivals and revenue in spite of these headwinds. We also wanted to focus internally on organizational staffing and government issues, improving our financial health, and leveraging our existing programs and implementing new programs and activities to give members added value. We wanted also to grow our overall membership, as well as to add new strategic partnerships and overall revenue growth for CHTA. We looked at expanding our thought leadership to focus on our key advocacy issues, airlift, multi-destinational travel, labor market constraints, and of course, data generation and sustainability. During the year, I participated as a president in quite a lot of presentations, speeches, and panels. Again, with the focus of CHTA being a thought leader and getting involved as much as we could in activities that would continue to make sure that our voice is heard. Specifically, we also participated in the second Global Tourism Resilience Management and Conference in Montego Bay. We worked with World Bank on their tourism research project, as well as participated in April in the Chris Investment Forum, which is one of the large investment forums focusing on the Caribbean, which had, I would say, literally every major brand present, seeking to invest in the region. This is coming out of the fact that they all saw the great recovery that the Caribbean undertook and the kind of profits and revenue that was being driven into the Caribbean. And so everyone really wants a slice of that Caribbean pie. These are some highlights from Chris. Again, we went into May for our Caribbean Marketplace CTO Week in New York, worked with the Caribbean Interim Tourism Working Group, looking at where we are in terms of developing tourism policy in the region. We also had meetings with the OAS Interregional Council on integration and that conference, integral development, as well as we had our Young Leaders Forum, and most recently participated in the Caribbean Women in Leadership Conference, which was an Antigua-based conference. And next week, I'll be attending the Caribbean Infrastructure Forum in Miami. So let me focus on some of the governance issues. When we met last year, we had some challenges and we have been working on that. As you know, we had our TD Bank account, and that was giving us challenges in terms of being able to do transfers, wire transfers, and we had some other constraints. We had expanded the number of signatories on that account, but we felt that we had to move to a new banking arrangement. We have established banking with Bank of America. We are in the process of transferring all our funds from TD Bank as well as from our accounts in Puerto Rico and our investments accounts and consolidating all our investments through Bank of America. This has been a very good corporate banking arrangement that we have established, and this will help us to rationalize our various accounts as well as ensure that we get the best investment value for CHTA. We had opened a debit card because when we opened the Bank of America account, we were not able to get a credit card immediately, but good news, we are there and the credit card will soon be issued. On our old TD Bank account, we were not able to have a credit card, and we are actually using Vanessa's credit card for many, many years. And this is something I felt that was not good governance practice. And so we are in the process and almost complete that process. The Finance Committee will give the full report on where our investments are. We have been in contact with the Brussels and Barbados accounts. And so we now have eyes on both of those accounts, which we will be closing. And we have completed our audit for 2021 and 2022. You know, it was a long outstanding issue. And we are still in the process of working on the 501c6 incorporation. This is going to give us charter status in the US. So we will have further update in the committee reports on this area. I wanted to specifically focus on one of the programs that was a target for us, which was growing membership. And we had a pilot program specifically with the Jamaica Hotel and Tourism Association. This has been a very successful program. We had opt-ins of 70% of the entire CHTA membership, which is giving us 64 members and 15,079 rooms in our now CHTA. So we earned 30 out of the 31 members, we earned additional members out of the 64 who were never members of CHTA before. We also have 24 allied members, which was not a part of the compliance program, but we now have 18 new members that are new to the CHTA. This revenue achievement is approximately 70,000 in member dues. I know the Finance Committee is going to give you a more report on it, but based on where we are now, including the GHTA membership, we are ahead of our 2023 allied and active member dues in total for 2024 at this state. So we will improve upon our 2023 full revenue numbers. I wanted to highlight also quickly some of the key partnerships and programs that were signed in 2024 and some of them in late 2023. And we just want to continue to work, particularly on the Caribbean Travel Advisor Program, We have the Renewable Energy Project, and that is being done through CAST. As you know, we're a signatory to the Glasgow Protocol. We are working with the Caribbean Biodiversity Fund, and we're working on the IDB with the CHTA Education Foundation and VELSOF for training. I wanted to highlight a little bit our accomplishments at Marketplace. This was a very unique marketplace for us, and part of our strategy, as I mentioned earlier, was to expand Marketplace to make it more relevant, which we started to do in 2022, 2023. But 2024, we took it to another level. We had a lot of firsts this in Marketplace. It was our first CHTA MICE exchange, which we brought in meeting planners and had a separate conference trade show happening parallel to our regular trade show with our tour operators. We also brought in travel advisors this year, and that was specifically for us to expand the bio database that we have for Marketplace. We completed our multi-destination FAM, which was an effort to really showcase what we can do with multi-destinational travel in the region. We had our first Responsible Tourism Day because it was a recognition that we can't only just talk about the business of tourism, we also have to be in the business of community tourism and sustainability. And this involved 4 projects, and various members, the media, persons who registered for Marketplace were able to go out in the communities and give service. And this will now become a part of our annual Marketplace activities. We launched our Artificial Intelligence Guidebook and, of course, our Construction and Pipeline Report. I'll go into that a little later further. But just to give an update for Marketplace this year, we had our traditional buyer companies, a total delegates of 278. We had hosted buyers, which we expanded our hosted buyer program. We had 38 delegates, and you see the countries: Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, Chile, Ecuador, Estonia, Romania, Sweden, Poland, Peru, Italy, Latvia. We also had, as I said, the MICE buyer program, and that was very successful. This is something that our members have said they were very happy with, and we plan to expand on this. We had wedding specialists, and we had 10 travel advisors. We had 50 members of the regional international media, giving us a total delegate count that we had of 1,200, which included 682 suppliers across 27 Caribbean destinations. Appointment schedule at the time of that report was 12,724, but we know it was over that number because we also had late appointments and appointments on the floor. For Responsible Tourism Day, we had the projects, as I mentioned: agricultural linkage with tourism, climate change and tourism, and community and tourism. The media participated, which we had 110 delegates participating in this program. We also had our Caribbean Travel Forum, which is in its 3rd year. Very excited to see it continue to grow. We are up to 335 registration this year, and it included our awards luncheon, our Destination Resilience Award, the Hotelier of the Year, and the President's Awards for Excellence in Caribbean Tourism. Our awardee this year in that particular area was CARFO, and I also want to recognize Patricia Alfonso Das, who received our Hotelier of the Year award. Congratulations again, Patricia, well deserved.
Thank you.
For the multi-destination FAM, just a quick highlight. As I said, we went to St. Lucia, Barbados, Jamaica, and Cayman. And this really was a fantastic trip that showcased the diversity of the region and our ability to sell a multi-destinational trip. It was coordinated, and we want to thank Intercaribbean, Cayman Airways in particular, and all of the National Hotel Association, the tourism boards, both of St. Lucia, Barbados, Jamaica, and Cayman, who came on board very quickly. St. Lucia in particular, because we lost our initial country, which was the Dominican Republic, as they had to change tact with us. And we understand that completely, but St. Lucia jumped in, and Barbados, and it really went very well. So thank you again, everyone, for that participation. We will continue to work towards building out other multi-destinational trips and to encourage our members to have rates for multi-destination, to work with each other, to partner, to build multi-destination itineraries, to work with our airline partners to ensure that this is something we can continue to build on and to promote within the region. There's a possibility for more long-haul lift, and again, having that ability to showcase the Caribbean as we would showcase Europe, where you come, but you don't go to one destination, you visit 3, 4, or 5. this is going to be a big push for us within the region. I just wanted to highlight a little bit our international air seat capacity into the region, and you can see that we have seen some significant growth. We see the regional air seat capacity in 2024 over 2019, which was a peak year for us, has gone up by 15%, and this was data provided by our data partner Forward Keys. You can see where American Airlines is up 19%, Frontier has had a significant growth, we have United, we have Spirit, Southwest, Caribbean Airlines, Sunwing, and Air Caribbean. So we are seeing some significant growth, and this is very important because we know that we are adding a lot of capacity in terms of accommodation. When we look at the intra-Caribbean connectivity, and this is seat capacity that we're looking over 2023, we are also seeing growth. We are seeing that we have up from the EU, we see up from the USA and Canada, and we see that quite a few of our destinations are experiencing double-digit growth. So that's very important to know. So the challenge of airlift is still exists, but we are seeing improvement in this area. When we look at increased North American direct airlift connectivity, again, we are seeing double-digit growth. The US market represents over 60% of stopover arrivals into the Caribbean. So this is a very important market for us. And so we are seeing, again, growth in airlift from this market. So that's also good news. So when we look at our snapshot, the region has experienced unprecedented tourism growth. International carriers continue to propel record airlift into the region. Inter-Caribbean air travel is slower to rebound from the pandemic, but is rebounding. We are growing one-stop lift into the region from US and Latin America. And our destination regional tour operators and our hotels are helping to drive multi-destination travel. Sports tourism, festivals, and events continue to show promise. So these are focuses that membership needs to pay attention to. You can lobby at their national hotel level to your ministries of tourism. That festivals, for example, we are showing quite a bit of uptick in driving demand into the region. So this is areas that we want to give you insight on so that you have your own tools to be able to go forward. We can provide additional data on specific events and what they have done in terms of driving demand into the region, so that if you need to lobby or put any sort of reports together, we have the data and are able to support you in that regards. So overall, we are seeing that global tourism arrivals are up 19% versus 2023, while the Caribbean is looking at a 10% up. So we are seeing now, as we know in the past, this used to be somewhat of a negative, but all regions have now rebounded over 2019 and 2023. So everybody is up. And at the same time, there was a comment that we had borrowed this demand. And there was a worry that we would lose this demand as other regions rebounded. And we are not seeing that. So that's very good news for our region. And I ask that we continue to put all our efforts, both at the CHTA and at the domestic and regional level, to be able to continue to see this growth for the region. I'm going to take a few minutes just to highlight the 2022 to 2024 biennium. This is the term of this administration, which ends today. And we'll be starting a new administration under the leadership of our president-elect. So we are very excited for what we have been able to accomplish in this biennium. And of course, I know we'll continue to grow going forward. So one of the main things, of course, is the recovery coming out of the COVID-19 pandemic. We worked with our national hotel associations, our regional and international partners, regional governments, and we were able to do great things in terms of our guidebooks, in terms of our portal entry dashboard, as well as policies and protocols that helped us all to recover and recover strong. We must give homage to CARFO, who really worked with us on the health safety stamp and recognition program, as well as our other partners throughout the region. Our focus again was on organizational restructure. As you know, within COVID, we closed our offices. We went down to a skeleton staff. We had committees were pretty much disbanded and we had to reestablish those committees, moved to monthly meetings, spent a lot of time and energy on governance, financial regulation, profitability, and audit. Our secretariat is now fully staffed. And as you all know, we have appointed Vanessa as our CEO, and she went through a development period. And so we're very happy to see her in that post now. We did assertive thought leadership and looked at webinars, panels, interviews, conferences, and summits, both regionally and internationally, to get the CHTA name back out there. We also worked on enhancing member benefits. One of the first things that was implemented was a technology task force, and that task force was to look at how do we embed technology, not only into CHTA, but to help our members to ensure that they too were able to utilize the technology that was available to us and advance both on a marketing and revenue side, but also on efficiency. We looked at expanded webinars and masterclasses, and also the expanded format for Marketplace. We signed a 3-year partnership with HFTP as well as HSMIA, which allowed for very good discounts on conferences and membership to these associations. We looked at new and expanded data partnerships with MasterCard and Forward Keys. As I mentioned earlier, our AI guidebook was launched. We have now a new strategic partnership with CNW Business. The membership pilot program for GHTA was successful. With Caribbean Travel, we moved to add in a hot news and hot deals offers. We totally revamped and upgraded the association websites and social media. Our Young Leaders Forum, we had our first official graduation and then launched batch 2. Guides and reports, construction investment and pipeline report, or with Nature Conservancy, our coral reef restoration and preservation guide, with WTCC on the economic impact for travel and tourism prospects for growth research paper. We worked with WTC to promote hotel basics for sustainable travel for members, and also working with CTO on the crisis readiness manual. For new events and programs, some I mentioned already, our travel forum, our MICE exchange, responsible tourism, the Destination Resilience Award, President's Awards for Excellence in Caribbean Tourism, Multi-Destination FAM, or Certified Caribbean Travel Advisor Program, and the launch of the Perks Portal. In our advocacy efforts post-COVID, we continue with strategic MOUs, supporting our national hotel associations for on-the-ground advocacy, providing data and reports, supporting with travel advisories that were particularly strenuous in the 2023-2024 period. And we continue to work with regional and international bodies to drive tourism policy. And some of them, particularly that we work very close with, of course, is CTO, the OACS, CARFO, CARICOM, IDB, and World Bank, as well as IATA and UN Tourism. We were giving vocal support for the implementation of MASA and the push for intra-regional and multi-destinational travel. And we worked to raise funds and other forms of contribution to support recovery for destinations hit by earthquakes and hurricanes in partnership with the CHTA Education Foundation. I'm going to just go through 2 of those major items because I think it's great that membership have full eyes on this. I know some of you may have already downloaded this report, but I'm just going to run through quickly some of the highlights because this is a report that I think is going to really help us on the macro level to be able to have good eyesight on what is happening in the region. From this report, which you haven't downloaded it yet, please do so. We are seeing 50 new hotels, 9 infrastructure projects, and 1 other tourism project coming into the region in the next couple of years. This is major as it poses constraints both on labor, sustainability from the point of view of utilities and the availability of water, light, etc. It has impacts on airlift and the amount of airlift that will be needed for the region, because we don't want one destination to be pulling and then the other is not getting adequate airlift. So having that macro view is very important. So we are looking at a total of 19,591 rooms, broken down into 30 luxury properties, 15 upscale, 3 boutique, and 2 mid-scale. Now, I can assure you that since this report was done, this has increased in numbers. So we are going to see even more in terms of room uptick in the region. This is just a quick breakdown on where this growth is happening. We can see that there's quite a bit throughout the region in various destinations. And as I said, we are seeing additional numbers as we go forward. This just gives you an overview of where we were in 2017 versus 2019 to 2024. And this number now, this 29,000, almost 30,000 rooms, is actually taking into consideration some of the destinations that did not report to CHTA when we did our survey. And so the overall count is somewhere in the region of 30,000 rooms. Okay. As I mentioned earlier, you can just scan the QR code if you didn't do so already, or Artificial Intelligence Guide. Thanks again to the Technology Task Force for their work in this area. We just want to make sure that you are utilizing this guide, as this forms a really good template for how to implement artificial intelligence within your organization. So looking into the future, global and Caribbean demand for travel is robust, and the region continues to be highly desired by international travelers. Our anticipated growth is forecasted to range between 5 to 10%, potentially welcoming between 33.8 million to 35.4 million tourists. The cruise sector is continuing on its upward track with an estimated 34.2 to 35.8 million cruise visits expected in the Caribbean. As mentioned by the report, we have rapid growth in the hotel and other investments, and this requires a comprehensive look at airlift infrastructure to ensure sustainable growth and to keep over-tourism in check. So again, just advising our members so that you're fully aware of what the macro level situation is and how that may impact you on the ground in your destination, and where we will support you as CHTA in any lobbying efforts to make sure that we are ready for this massive growth. And as we said at the very beginning from the WTTC study, there is an anticipation that we will double our GDP and have an additional 1.32 million jobs by 2032. So that's a lot for us to unpack. It requires planning, it requires collaboration, both with the private sector and the public sector across the region, and just want us to be aware of what is coming and how we can work as CHTA and as a team to ensure that we meet these challenges ahead. So our Caribbean vision, we share again, air connectivity, as we said, very important, ensuring that we have not only adequate lift, but adequate lift at a price that our market can afford. So again, what can we do in terms of encouraging low-cost carriers, encouraging more travel from some of putting more lift into the market, code sharing, ensuring that persons can take advantage of multi-destinational travel, both using our regional carriers and working with international carriers. We're seeing quite a bit of uptick in some of our regional carriers, and we encourage them to continue this growth path, because on our end, we are seeing the demand surely from the various destination management companies, as well as tourism boards, as well as our individual members. We are aggressively pushing and marketing to grow the Caribbean. So we definitely need the lift, both coming into the region as well as within the region itself. Continuing to push on digital solutions, modern infrastructure, highly trained, certified, and skilled workforce. So we have been putting those programs together, and we continue to work with our partners to see how we can expand on our program offerings and training. Let's ensure that we have authentic product offerings, leveraging our culture, cuisine, our natural assets, sun, sea, sand, mountain, rivers, but also leveraging sports tourism and other niche community tourism, because we have to continue to diversify our product across the region. While we are one Caribbean, we are also one diversified Caribbean, and it's important that persons recognize the various assets that we have and don't think about it in too much of a homogeneous, when I visit one destination, I don't need to see the rest, because we all know of the absolute fantastic diversity that we have as a region. And so we need to ensure that we showcase it. Crisis preparedness, we cannot continue to not focus on this as we have. We have to remember that all of our learnings from the pandemic and everything else that we continue to teach the next generation, it has to be embedded in our DNA. We have to continue our partnerships with regional and national bodies, and working on our environmental protection is key to our future. So our biodiversity, ensuring that all our investments incorporate environmental protection and sustainability is essential. We want to ensure that this Caribbean tourism is not only for international players, but that we continue to grow our local entrepreneurs and generate generational wealth within families and communities. This is an important part of our strategy because we believe that the only way Caribbean tourism will continue to be viable, loved, and supported is that our various regional communities, as well as all our Caribbean nationals, feel that they have a part of the pie. And so it's very important that we continue to support not only those who are directly in the industry, but also those who are suppliers to the industry and give them a good take on the opportunities that exist so they themselves can become entrepreneurs. We continue our collaboration with our regional governments, with our industry players, both and our international players, because as we know, together, everyone can achieve more. I just want to thank our team of volunteers that worked with me during this 2022 to 2024 biennium, particularly all of you. I know I gave you a lot of work, long hours, and the great thing is that everybody rose to the challenge. Everybody put in the effort. We were a fantastic team. And I just want to thank each and every one of you. Some have departed from us and are no longer active members in the association due to changes in their job status. Some, unfortunately, have passed on, and we must remember them. Richard, in particular, who was my first marketing chair, and so many others that we have lost during this period. I think it has been a wonderful occasion to work with each and every one of you. I would also, at this time, want to give special shout out to our CHTA executive, Vanessa, as well as their entire team, who has just been absolutely stellar in everything that they have done and have been learning on the job and have been very good in all that they've been executing. Also want to give thanks to our MPE team, who has been with us for a while and has seen us through some of the most challenging periods of CHTA. So I just want to say, let us continue to prioritize our initiatives, promoting multi-destinational travel, incorporating air connectivity, and looking at how we continue to push the new niche markets in terms of sports tourism. As I depart the role, I'm excited for the new team that is coming in, and I know that CHTA will continue to do tremendous work, and I continue to actively support our collective vision and mission. As I said in our newsletter, one aim, one goal, one destiny, one Caribbean, and of course, one love. Thank you. Vanessa, I think we move on to the next part of the agenda, unless we have any questions from members on the presentation specifically.
While we wait for questions, if we can, just for procedural matters, we will be sharing on the screen the minutes from the previous annual general meeting. This is only procedural. The only approval, of course, recorded was the election of the president-elect and a vacancy. So we just need an approval and an additional individual to second the approval of the minutes.
Okay, can we have that formally approved? Anyone? Thank you, Patricia. Can we have someone second it?
I second.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it, everyone.
Approved
Okay.
minutes.
All right, do we have any questions or any clarification points before we move to the next agenda item?
Just a note, Nicola, to say thank you so much for your service to the organization. It's a tough role that takes you away from your regular job, and we certainly appreciate all that you've done for your extended time in the role. So thank you.
Thank you, Patricia. Appreciate it.
I have one question, if that's all right.
Please go ahead.
Yes, hi, Joffrey Fullerton with the Hotel Sales Institute. Wonderful presentation, concise. And there was one thing that I wanted to focus on. I'm just curious about as far as how I could possibly help and become a member. And that is in regards to, with all this growth, hang on, let me just find my notes here. Sorry, one second. It's in regards to the skilled workforce and digital solutions able to be provided that will up level their skills. And of course, with a lot of new people in the tourism industry now, especially since COVID, bringing them upscale so that we have world-class workforce. So who would we be in contact with to find out how we could contribute to that initiative?
Okay, so we have two areas that you can focus on. Obviously, you can contact Vanessa at the Secretariat, as well as through the Education Foundation. We do have a project, as I mentioned earlier, that we're doing with IDB, which is an online training through Velsoft. So that's definitely one of the areas that we are working on very aggressively. So please feel free to reach out because yes, we need more partners in this space. We have a lot of young people to train. We have new people coming into the industry. We also have a bit of attrition. People leaving the industry because having trained good workers, as you know, there's a worldwide shortage of hospitality workers, and they're being recruited quite aggressively into the US and Canadian and UK markets. So it's an ongoing process. We're going to need to have that level of development and to attract new persons who may not have considered hospitality before, but we need to make sure that they understand the attractiveness and the career path that is available to them. It's not just, the line positions, you can move up the line. And that's part of what we're doing through our Young Leaders Forum is training that next crop of leaders so that they understand how to move up in their own career path, but also to set an example for young persons who never thought of tourism to look to the industry as well. I hope that
wonderful. Great. Oh, it definitely does. Great. So I'll make contact with Vanessa. Thank you very much, Nicola, and thanks for your service in this group.
Thank you. Right. Do we have? I'm not seeing any other hands.
We're able to proceed with the next agenda item, which actually it's my report. So let me just bring the screen up. Buenos dias. Good morning to everyone. Let me just make sure that we're here on from current side. Thank you again once more for joining us this morning. I also would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone for their wishes and their comments. I've been humbled by all of the messages that I've received from friends, colleagues, and family members, because it's all about CHTA. It's a very big family. If I have not gotten back to you yet on saying thank you, I'll be getting there shortly. Nicola provided a very extensive overview of our activities over the last period from January through August, as well as the results on the activities, successes, and accomplishments of the 2022 to 2024 biennium, and we will have updates from our various committee chairs and affiliate organizations. So I'm just going to go through a few things very quickly, just to make sure that you are all aware of the resources and tools that as a member you have access to. Last year, we launched our Perks portal, which is a members-only platform that provides all of our members access to special deals, offers, and perks. And you as a member are encouraged as well to provide those perks, discounts, and special offers. The link will be posted on the chat. If you have not submitted your perk, please do so. They can be with a specific time frame. They can be for the entire year. And these are specifically accessible to CHTA members. CHTA's online community, it's also another platform that we have launched, and it's still in development in the way that we need all of our members to be engaged on the platforms. Think about it as CHTA's exclusive social media network. You are required to update your profile, add all of the individuals from your company to ensure that they receive access to all of the CHTA member resources, tools, and services, including including the online community. And if you need any assistance, the team can assist you. You will be seeing more regular postings on the news feed for the online community, which includes also the ability of individual messages and messages from delegates and members as well. A reminder of our calendar of events coming up. Chief, November 18th through the 20th in Miami at the Covens Conference Center in North Miami. That's on the FIU North Miami campus under the theme, Keeping It Real, Amplifying Caribbean Tourism Through Authenticity, Integration, and Immersion. If you have not registered, you have time. The early bird deadline is about to expire. It will be extended for a few more days, but make sure that you register early to secure those savings. For this year in particularly, we have registration fees open and available for non-members. It is at a higher fee. So we do encourage that if you are not a member, that you join. All of the details are on the website, chtachief.com. The long-awaited return of Taste of the Caribbean as well during the same period, November 18th through the 20th, in the same venue as well. We look forward to acknowledging and cheering on our teams. And a few weeks ago, we announced the dates for our activities surrounding Caribbean Travel Marketplace, May 18th through the 22nd, 2025, in Antigua and Barbuda. Here on the screen, you also have two of our affiliate partner events, Alice Caribbean Latin America, previously called Chris and Ola, April 29th through May 1st, and High Tech, the Hospitality Technology Exposition and Conference, June 16 to the 19th, 2025. Of course, Nicola referenced the CHTA team. As a reminder, this is the team that's available to you for any questions, bounce ideas, any comments, feedback. Please make sure that you reach to the team. And also, as a reminder, Frank still helps us with several items, specifically advocacy and cast matters. So just as a reminder, this is your CHTA team. And CHTA is an association and it's your association. We need you. We need you to share your voice. We need you to share your ideas because they spark innovation. Your participation drives solutions. Together, we can achieve more. We need you to be engaged so that with more of your support, we can do much more. And if you have any questions or need any assistance, membership at CaribbeanHotelAndTourism.com. As I said, all of the committee chairs and affiliate partners will be providing their reports, which will provide more information on our resources tools.
Thank you, Vanessa. Any questions before we move on to the next agenda item? Okay, so we have any matters arising from the minutes? I don't think so. All right, Clifton, you're up with the treasurer's report.
Good morning, everyone. Morning. I would like to introduce
Clifton, we're only seeing the top of your head. Just
seeing me now?
Yes, much better.
Better? Okay.
Yes.
Morning again, everyone. As you know, the president went through quite a few of the accomplishments and everything regarding the audits and several other things. But I'd like to introduce now somebody who is no stranger to you, Darwish, HREM CPA, Director of Accounts and Audit at Halia Robbins, Florida. And he will go through the audit, and then I'll go through some of the success points and introduce Junior, who has worked very hard with us since he came on board. I'll introduce him to go through some of the figures with you. Darwish, are you on?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, we are hearing you.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, thank you for having me and having us doing the audit and the tax services. Thank you, Clifton, for the introduction. If I can share the screen with everyone.
Should be able to, Darvish.
Good job. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So The financial statements for 2022 and 2021 is ready. If I can go through the statements first, and then we talk about the audit in general. The financial position, I don't know if you can see on the screen. I'm sharing the 2022 comparative
Yes,
financial
we can see
statement.
it, Darish. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is the 2022-2021 comparative financial statements. Some of the comments that have been told us to by the certain members of the board have been, I think, implemented. We have separate financial statements now for CHTA. The current assets exceeding current liabilities, 704,000 in current assets compared to total liabilities or current liabilities of 182,000. So the net assets, which is the assets less liabilities, is 700,000. All of these are unrestricted. There is no donor restrictions on the net assets, compared to only 213,000 in net assets as of prior year. So definitely there has been an improvement in the standing of the CHTA in 2022 compared to 2021. Moving to the statement of activities, this is similar to a statement of income or profit and loss in the for-profit entities. This shows where the revenues are coming from. The CTA earned 887,000 in dues from these categories. There's an investment loss in 2022. This is consistent with the market. In 2022 was a tough year for everyone. And then there's some other revenue streams of revenue, primarily from strategic alliance and sponsorship. There's an 878,000 in administrative expenses, which is a separate statement. And then the change in net assets, or similar to net income or revenues exceeding expenses, was a 487,000 in 2022. Moving to the 2021 statement of activities, and if you guys have any questions, please stop me and ask any questions you guys have in mind. 2021 statement of activities. This is still kind of a COVID year, or the effect of the COVID year in that year, in 2021. You could see that dues are 432,000. Investment income was a positive market year, 55,000 in investment income. Other streams of revenue were about 424,000. And you still have a positive change in net assets of 335,000. One of the things that we faced during the audit is before 2021, there were so many adjustments that Junior worked on fixing, cleaning the books, and he did, I think, a very good job in cleaning lots of things and make it, once he stepped in, to clean the accounting and to clean the books for the CHTA. The statement of cash flow showing where the cash went, or how the effect of the assets and liabilities on cash. If you guys have any questions on this, let me know. The ending cash equivalent ties to the statement of financial position. The next are the notes talking about the organization, summary of significant accounting policies, and different kind of notes that affect the financial statements. The CHTA is a non-profit association, and the financial statements reflect a non-profit financial statement according to GAAP, or generally accepted accounting principles. In the financial statements for non-profits, you have two classes of net assets. Net assets with donor restrictions, when the donor says, I'm giving you the money, or you get some money or revenues, and they are restricted for a specific purpose. And net assets without donor restrictions, which what the organization or CHTA has in 2021 and 2022. This is just GAAP financial statements about how revenues, what is the effect of net assets and on revenues, use of estimates, as we do accrual basis, so you have to do estimates also. The cash and cash equivalent, that what really how it's defined. Certificate of deposit, as you know, CHTA has 144,000 in a CD, earned $3,000 in interest as of 2022 and 2,800 as of 2021. The interest was modest 2% per annum on the CD, and it was renewed through August 2024 just recently, and then withdrawn. The following note is just a general revenue recognition note according to the new standard, which is revenue recognition under topics 606. This came in with 2020, 2021. This is just how revenue is recognized for everything, including nonprofit. Contributed services, some of these, they didn't apply. There were no contributed services or in-kind revenue in the financial statements, but this is a significant accounting policy as a general policy for the organization. The remaining is accounts receivable, prepaid expenses, allocation of functional expenses. Investments is a big piece of CHTA, how it's reported, which is reported at fair value, about investment income. One of the things that I want to alert the board here is about subsequent event. December 31st, 2022 is 2 years ago. So if you look at it now, we are in September 2024. Sometimes the organization or management think about adding some disclosure as a subsequent event to be useful, because as of report now, which is today is the 17th of September, a long time has passed since December 31st, 2022. So just FYI, if there is something that you want to add as a subsequent event, that whatever event that you think is going to help the organization, for whoever is reading the financial statements, be alerting to that. Since so much time has passed, please let me know, and I will add it as well. This is note 3 about the composition of investments, where investments are. 173,000 you could see in 2022 is in equities. These are stocks, level 1 stocks, and then a small piece in alternative investments. When you say level 1, is that you can go and just find the price of the investment on through Yahoo Finance, or it's available. It's not something that has to be calculated and come up with internally within the investment company. That's note 3 and 4. As I said, you could see here on the level, the hierarchy of investments at fair value. Level 1 is 173,000, which is the equities. No fixed income in 2023, but they were, or 2022, it seems. But this is what the the composition of the investments. Income taxes. One of the things just a standard note on the organization, nonprofit organization, under section 1101.01 of Act number 1 of the new Puerto Rico Internal Revenue Code. One of the things I know that we are in the process of the application of the tax exemption also in the United States. The next one is about pension plan. It's a defined benefit. There are two benefit plans. One is a defined benefit plan, and as you know, there's a payout that was done to one employee that still the organization is paying, and then defined contribution plan that is still in place. And then note 7 is a concentration of credit risk, and just to note that at December 31st, 2022, the organization's uninsured cash balances total approximately $30,000. This is the excess over $250,000, which is the FDIC insurance in the United States, per account, per depositor. So, and this is, I think, with the TD Bank, if I'm not mistaken. The next one, note 8 and note 9, they're talking about economic dependence. It's a generic note. Note 9 also required note about liquidity, which is what available for the company or for the organization, in this case, available fund to pay for short-term liabilities or debt. And this is what's available. So you have $617,000 in available funds that to pay any liabilities or any amounts due or operating expenses. As of 2021, you could see that 253,000 was only available. So definitely there is a big jump, relatively significant jump from 2021 to 2022. Uncertainties, this is the COVID note. As you know, 2021, still all companies, all businesses continued to see the effect of the COVID-19 on the market, on business, on everything else. The supplementary information here is detailed for general and administrative expenses. This is the listing of the administrative expenses. One of the things here, just want to make a note, usually, and you know, this is when we did the foundation's financial statements. It used to be combined. When we did the foundation's financial statements, one of the schedules we added is schedule of functional expenses, which usually you see in a nonprofit. Here, because it's all the expenses are general and administrative, we just put them in the supplementary information. Just a geography thing is not affecting CHTA, but just you will, since we're doing it combined now, separating it, you will see that on the foundation, since you have something called program expenses versus management and general or supporting services. So this is something that you may want to think in the future for 2023 is allocating expenses by program and supporting services. I am more than delighted if of any questions you guys have.
Thank you, Darwish.
You're very welcome.
The floor is open for any questions. If you could probably use the raise hand feature so that we can see if you have any questions for Darwish. Any questions? Vanessa, you seen anybody's hand? Can't see.
Not at this point.
Okay. Giving you another 2 seconds. Just reminding everyone, this is a 2021 and 2022 audit. Our last audit was in 2014 and our 27 audit was incomplete. So with a lot of cleanup work, but we are moving forward. So if there are no questions, we're going to ask you to accept the audit as reported. And we can move for the acceptance of the audit. Okay.
Move to accept.
All right. Somebody second, and then if we have no objections, we will move forward.
Seconded.
Thank you, Jim. All right, move forward. Clifton, back to you to the next item on the agenda. Clifton? Did we lose him?
No, I'm right here.
Oh, here.
I'd like to congratulate Vanessa, our walking encyclopedia, and in her new position, I am sure she's going to be of even more help to the organization. When we brought on Junior, of course, she gave us so much information to be able to put together the finances and be able to get where we are today with the audit completed. I'd just like to go through some of the points of success as seen through our eyes. Hiring of the finance coordinator, Junior Levine, regularizing of our books, in preparation for the audit 2020 to 2024, and of course, improvement in our investment strategies, as was outlined by President and by the auditor. We also looked at and worked very hard at improving the turnaround time in our P&Ls, because what we were finding out that functions were being held and we would not have a sense of our profitability towards the end of those functions or even at the beginning. So this is greatly improved. And again, thanks to the team. I would like to formally introduce Junior Levine, our finance coordinator, and he will take us through, especially the last year of review, and any questions, even pertaining to the audit, I'm sure Junior will be able to answer. Junior, are you on?
Yes, Treasurer. How are you? Good afternoon. Morning, members. Morning, everyone.
Morning, Junior.
Thank you very much. I'm going to look at what we have been doing in a financial sense since January to July of this year. So I have it here in a very simple form, where I have the revenue at the top, and I just explain so we can all follow along. At the extreme left, it is what we did in 2023 for the entire year. So it's one full year. The next row, the next column is what we are reporting on and comparing. That is July 2023, January to July 2023, as against the year January to July 2024. The next column is the percentage of the budget that we have achieved. And the next one is the budget column. And then finally, we look at the change we have made between positive or negative, between what we achieved as at the same period last year, this year. So the first one is dues. And currently, we are 73% of budget. But I may be taking tales out of school here, but we have looked at August, but we have not ratified the account. But I can tell you that we have now exceeded the revenue for 2023 already. But as at the end of July, we were, in terms of compared to what July was last year, we had a 25% improvement in revenues from dues. That would be allied and hotel dues. For events, of course, we have surpassed last year, and we are still collecting some outstanding funds. It's the same thing with the dues. We are still having members renewing or getting new members, even at this time of the year, and seems to be the normal thing. We can't do the events without sponsorships, and so that would be a part of the event revenue, but we have strategic partners, and in 2024, we did better than 2023, but not as well as we had budgeted. And so I suspect that as we continue, we'll try to improve on that. Others, again, it's not much to talk about, but when you look at the total revenue, January to July, this year as against January to July last year, what we'll see is that $1.1 million this year as against $903 last year, a 27% improvement. So overall, we are heading in a good direction. Our I categorize the expenses relatively simple. Staff and related went up. It went up by 89%. And it's primarily because we have taken on the staff complement of CHTA improved because we are now out of COVID, I think, and we need the resources to carry on the work of the organization. And so that is just a reflection of what we have done, that we have increased the number of persons, hence the dollar value. Operation related, again, there have been an increase in that of 38%. But however, business related, we know we have a reduction in that expenditure. And so that's also a good thing. But the contracts, and again, contracts have increased by 30%. That's a contract related expenses. And because we are building out our systems, we would now have more expense in that area than last year. But it will settle down within the next financial period. Event related, of course, you would have event related increase, but the reason for that is because you had bigger events. Because if you look back at your event revenue, you'll see a 27% increase. Hence, there was also an increase in the expenses to support the events. As of July, we have made 346. We have a surplus of 347,000 as against 380 last year. We are slowly catching up on that. And as soon as when we collect the any outstanding funds, it will improve. If you look at it as against budget, though, we are way above our budget, because our budget suppose that we would end with $116,000 of surplus, but at this moment we are 346, and it should remain above budget at the end of the year. Vanessa, can you give me the other slide, please? Okay. What is even more interesting is our balance sheet. The cash and cash equivalent, we have an 18% improvement. And the cash and cash equivalent, we shouldn't have so much money in there. So what we have done, and I think in August, we have reduced that by 250, and it will be in short-term investment, and at that where we will be getting a better return on our excess cash. We have looked at our cash, and we have taken the decision that we would get the best possible return on our excess cash without any risk. The short-term investments are all cash, and they're very low risk, if no risk at all. Where we have the investment at fair value, it's the investment that we have at Morgan Stanley, and I think Darwish alluded to that, where we have invested primarily in equities, and so it changed with the fortune. But this year, by year end, the year end should show some improvement in our return from our investment of fair value. Our receivables is really outstanding amounts that we may have for events, membership that we are sure we are going to collect, sponsors, and some amount also that we settle for our partner, the foundation. President, I'm not seeing the screen.
It just disappeared.
Anyway,
It's coming back. It's coming back.
Our net equity, as Darwish said in 2021-22, we continue that trend by improving our net equity. We have basically $1.6 million of asset compared to $113,000 of liability. So as a corporate body, if one could compare us to a corporate body, then we are in our balance sheet is in very healthy condition. Any question?
I think you can move on, Junior. I don't see anybody.
No.
Okay. Anyway, that's it for thank you very much, members. Good from me.
Thank you, Junior, and thank you for all your efforts. I know we threw you in at the deep end when you came in February, and you have done a sterling job in cleaning up all the back accounts and working with the other persons we brought in to get us where we are today. And we just thank you for that effort. I know it was not an easy task.
Thank you, President.
To our auditors who have worked with us also to get the 21-22 figures finalized. Again, was a long and arduous process, but everyone has worked to get this done. So thanks to the team for their efforts. Treasurer, was there one other item? We do have another item on the agenda for the Finance Committee meeting, and that is a resolution, I believe.
That's the resolution not to appoint the auditor at this stage.
No, there are two things. We have the resolution to amend our articles to have an annual audit to our existing articles. So it's on the screen. So members, as you know, this was changed some time ago to move the audit to every 3 years. Both the executive committee and the board feels that we need to change this back to an annual audit. The level of effort that we had to go through to bring the books current was a lot, and we feel that an annual audit is more in keeping with good governance. So as you see, the proposed amendment is on the floor. I would like someone to ratify same, and if we have no objections, for it to be approved. Can I have someone to propose the amendment, please?
I so propose.
And can I have someone second?
I will second. Oh,
okay. And if we have no objections, can I take it as resolved? Okay. No objections, going once, going twice, going 3 times. Okay. All moved. Thank you very much, everyone. We also now we have approved the audit, but we also have a proposal to allow for the executive committee and the board of directors to appoint a new auditing firm. Currently, we would like to go to competitive bid for our auditors for the next financial year. Our current auditors is aware of this, so he's not being taken by surprise. So just again, asking for the AGM to approve, allowing, based on our articles of association, that this task be allowed to go to the executive committee and the board once we have completed the RFP process to appoint our auditors for the 2023 fiscal year. Can I have someone move for that resolution, please?
So moved.
Thank you, Patricia. Can I have someone second?
seconded.
Thank you, Sanopnik. And if we have no objections, going once, going twice, going 3 times. All right, so moved. Thank you. All right, we move on to the committee updates. I'm actually up. We have the advocacy report, which I believe is in video format. So if we can play that video, team. Good morning. Please allow me to share our advocacy report for the period January to September 2024. Our research efforts have made significant strides. In February, we conducted our annual industry performance and outlook survey and shared the results in May. This survey highlighted ongoing industry recovery, but also pointed to the challenges. The feedback on events, interregional travel, and AI utilization has been crucial in shaping our research efforts and has already been shared with our members and the National Hotel and Tourism Associations. We have also completed a policy and regulatory assessment focused on coral reef and coastal resource management in the Bahamas, Jamaica, and the Dominican Republic. After extensive discussions with both public and private sector stakeholders, we'll soon share the recommendations with industry and government bodies to help foster improvements. We've also finalized our Caribbean Construction and Investment Report. This detailed report on industry performance, airlift capacity, and tourism investments is invaluable for benchmarking and guiding future investments across the region. It gives a high-level look at the kind of development that the region is faced with, as well as pointing out some of the challenges that we may have to undergo, including getting additional airlift, labor market constraints, and ensuring that we grow sustainably as we move forward into the future as a region. This report will now be done annually and will become an essential tool for CHTA and its members. In business development, we have partnered with UK and US-based firms, TA Connect and My Booking Rewards, to develop a comprehensive program focused on travel advisors. Our aim is to ensure that we open partnerships with this community that will foster fresh opportunities for hotels and destinations to grow their business. We're also moving forward to certify travel advisors so that they're able to comprehensively sell and promote the diversity of our Caribbean region. As you're aware, at Marketplace this year in Jamaica, we brought in a few travel advisors to participate, and this will be expanded in 2025 as we continue to foster a greater relationship with this community. Our lobbying efforts also continue to promote the adaptation of the Multi-Air Services Agreement, MASA, for the region, and the push for expansion of interregional and multi-destinational travel. This included the first ever multi-destinational fam trip in May to St. Lucia, Barbados, Jamaica, and the Cayman Islands. This was well received and a step in the right direction to truly showcase the diversity of our region. We also maintained our participation in the Caribbean Hotel and Resort Investment Summit, CRIS. This industry event offered industry insights, and we participated, offering a comprehensive State of the Caribbean Industry report. This was well received by the many CEOs and C-suite executives who were there to find out how they could find more opportunities in the Caribbean region, one of the regions that recovered first and foremost from the pandemic and continues to thrive. We also made strides in business support by developing, in conjunction with the Technology Task Force, the recommended guidelines for the work use of AI. This guide has been well received and is actively being utilized by our members. We also launched a crisis communications toolkit in collaboration with CTO and CARFO, which now includes 16 new online courses through the Caribbean Training Institute. This offers members great resources for crisis readiness, and a full rollout of this course will be happening in fall. We continue to support our national hotel and tourism associations, including efforts to address unwarranted travel advisories issued by the US State Department. Through our coordination efforts, we worked with our national hotel associations as well as the tourism boards to ensure that corrective statements were issued by embassy officials in the region. This has been a major challenge for our industry, and we continue to see how we can improve in this area. We have collaborated with CARFO to prepare destinations for major events like the T20 Cricket World Cup, ensuring that they meet both health and safety standards. Finally, we continue to engage the key global and regional partners, including CARICOM, the Inter-American Development Bank, and the World Bank, which is currently conducting a comprehensive research on tourism policy for the region, focusing on the accommodation sector, adventure travel, and cruise. We continue to work to ensure that we are aligned with the broader efforts in tourism development and crisis management. These are just a few highlights of the year so far. Please feel free to get more details in our advocacy report, which has been submitted. We look forward to working with you as we continue to move Caribbean tourism ahead. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Nicola. I'm being funny. All right, we move on to our marketing committee report, which I'm actually doing on behalf of because we lost our marketing committee chair, Federico, earlier this year. So I'm just going to do a quick report on some of the actions that came out of the marketing committee. As we mentioned earlier, our new website was rebranded, and we worked with the Anything Group to create a fresh, authentic, and dynamic new website, which reflects CHTA's commitment to capturing the lore of the region while maintaining its leadership in the Caribbean hospitality industry. We also have our media relation partners, MPE, drafted and distributed 34 news releases between the January to August period. And we had a media coverage of 8,400 placements, registering over 3.9 billion impressions with a PR value of over $112 million. So that's significant. We also have the social media audience, which we saw an overall growth of 53%. Our engagement improved with 32,315 total interactions, up by 1.5%. And the engagement rate was 5.7, a 37% increase over the previous period. There was a 42.8 increase in messages sent and a 58.8 rise in messages received. So our most popular post was related to Caribbean Travel Marketplace and other key industry events, as well as our Young Leaders Forum. Our website attracted 23,000 users, which was a 346.6% increase over the same time last year, with most visitors arriving through direct and organic search. Average engagement time per user jumped by 590%, now averaging 20 seconds per visit. I want to thank Kirsten, who has been very actively working on our social media platform for her efforts, and I know she has a lot of plans and to really further enhance what we've been doing in social. Last but not least, we did an update to the Rhythm Never Stops video with a new music bed and removal of copyright materials. And this was used for both the travel advisors and MICE briefings held at Marketplace this year. All right, thank you for that. And I just want to thank the members of the marketing committee who have met throughout the year, and for the last couple of months, we've been focusing on a few activities, and I know for Q4, you'll be working on webinars moving forward. So thank you to the entire marketing committee team and to Frederica, our past chair, who was very active in establishing this committee. Going over to Bill for membership update. Bill, over to you. I'm going to stop sharing so you can put up your presentation.
Thank you so much, Nicola. And I believe our CHTA team has my recorded presentation to show. Before we dive into that, I'd just like to take one brief moment to thank the members of the committee who have been so diligent all year. I'd like to thank Wib Meyer, Snezana Andrews, Lisa Hamilton, Jim Heppel, Craig Marshall, Carlton Russell, Arlene Friday, and our CHTA staff and leadership, Kirsten Carlson, Latonia Knowles, Tennille Guppy, and Vanessa Ledesma. Without all of you, none of this would be possible. And without members, the organization wouldn't be possible. So I want to thank you all for your support. We'll go ahead and show the recorded presentation now. Hi, my name is Bill Clegg. I'm with BWH Hotels. But more importantly, I'm chairman of the membership committee of the Caribbean Hotel and Tourism Association, and also a vice president of the organization. And I'm here to bring you our membership committee report. Our membership counts as of September 11th are these. We have 384 accommodations members, 127 allied members, and 19 NHTA members. The numbers look like this. As you'll see, we've been on a steady decline since 2006, but I'm encouraged by the upturn that we see in 2024. We also track membership by association, and as you'll see on the right, you can see the counts of members across different islands, and we also compare that to the numbers of members of the NHTAs to determine compliance, which we'll speak about in just a moment. We've had a number of challenges over the past couple of years. We've had a decline in accommodations membership. We've had inconsistent support across NHTAs. We've had low engagement with presidents of the associations, and we've had issues with CHTA staffing levels and bandwidth. Although I'm pleased to say over the last several months, our team at the corporate office has been brought up to speed, and we're actually doing a lot more now than we were doing last year. Additional challenges, we have inconsistent newsletter and communications delivery. We have some stale or unavailable member resources and programs. Our financial and business cycle uncertainty across much of the region and indeed much of the world, and identification and engagement with accommodations and tourism businesses that are not yet members of NHTAs. In other words, how do we reach those prospects who are not members of the NHTAs and for whom we have no address or ability to engage? 2024 has been a fresh start. We've concisely articulated our value proposition, and we've completed our value proposition collateral. We've completely reinvigorated and reestablished membership committee with representation across associations, small hotels, large hotels, allied members, and tourism businesses. We've strengthened engagement with all divisions of CHTA, including membership, communications, and leadership, so that we're all working together and not in silos. We've strengthened engagement with the National Hotel and Tourism Associations, and we've implemented monthly committee meetings to make sure that we're staying on track. Our activities year to date include our updated membership tracking and reporting formats, a review and concurrence on our value proposition, completion of our pilot program with the Jamaica Hotel and Tourism Association, which drove notable new membership numbers, on-island membership-focused engagement at NHTA meetings in Grenada and Turks and Caicos, and others are in the planning. And we had a web meeting with association execs to gain perspective and feedback and to brainstorm strategies for greater alignment. Our CHTA staff has done a lot to drive membership as well. They completed the first member benefits webinar, and there were 56 participants. The webinar was entitled Unlocking the Value of CHTA Membership, Exploring Exclusive Member Benefits and Perks. I had the opportunity to attend it, and it was very, very well done. Keep an eye out for invitations for future versions. They've also worked on the Perks portal. They've cultivated our online community, our platform for more targeted engagement through our own membership platform. They've completed NHTA profiles and continue to work on gathering profiles so that we understand the nuances and unique nature of each of the associations rather than trying to work with each of them, assuming they're all like each other. We've furthered our membership tracking and analysis. We've engaged in retention activities. The destination visits have been hosted. And as I mentioned earlier, the JHTA pilot project was a huge success. Our key activities going forward include completion of membership reporting format updates and plans for monthly distribution across stakeholders so that we all understand where we are in cultivating new membership, continuing the creation of NHTA profiles for deeper understanding of each, membership by category, organizational focus, meeting schedule, joint communications opportunities, and so forth. CHTA leadership will continue participation in NHTA association meetings and president engagement. We will continue with our membership driving focus in communications and social media, and we'll track the results of as we're tracking towards our approved KPIs. And speaking of KPIs, here's a list of the proposed KPIs as we move forward under new leadership. The first is to strategically grow accommodations provider membership by 20% or 78 members year over year. The second is to strategically grow allied membership by 10% or 11 year over year. And I say strategically because we're not just going to go out and cast a wide net to see who can join. We're going to target the associations who are engaged with their members so that we can reach through them to those members who are not members to cultivate their membership. We're going to finalize and implement membership tracking reporting for distribution. We're going to facilitate quarterly member benefit webinar delivery. We're going to engage with our PR firm to develop and deliver aggressive member benefit information so that we can work to engage new members through our PR channels. And we're going to implement our new membership tracking and engagement software. We welcome your questions. I'll leave it at that. Let us know if you have any questions. Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you, Bill, and appreciate all your efforts. As I said, the volunteer leadership has been phenomenal team working with them over the last 3 years. So thank you again, Bill, for your efforts.
Thank you.
Any questions for Bill before we move on to Technology Task Force?
Yeah. Nicola, just FYI, if anybody has any question, either now or throughout the rest of the meeting, you can always post it on the chat and we will address it afterwards.
That might be faster.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we will be ready with people development.
People development. Yes. All right. Thank you.
Good morning, esteemed members, distinguished guests, and colleagues. It's both an honor and a privilege to present the People Development Initiative report, highlighting our achievements from January to August 2024. Our collective focus remains on fostering talent, empowering emerging leaders, and creating sustainable pathways for growth within the Caribbean hospitality and tourism sector. As we all know, our industry's strength lies in the people who drive it forward, and this report underscores our commitment to enhancing professional development of those people. One of our key initiatives is a Young Leaders Forum launched this year with 30 participants from across the Caribbean, including members of the CHTA Secretariat. This program continues to empower young professionals through mentorship, professional development, and networking opportunities. In addition to the Young Leaders Forum, we have made significant progress in launching the Caribbean Tourism Institute in collaboration with the Caribbean Tourism Organization and the CHTA Education Foundation, with the support of the Inter-American Development Bank and the expertise of VELSOF. We developed an affordable, accessible online educational platform. This initiative will provide vital training in digital transformation, crisis response, guest experience, and more. The initial pilot phase is being rolled out in Bahamas, Barbados, and Belize, and we expect the formal launch to take place later this year. This initiative marks a significant milestone in ensuring that our workforce is well equipped with the skills needed for the evolving demands of the global tourism industry. Our commitment to education extends further with the partnership with the Caribbean Maritime University. This collaboration focuses on key areas like maritime safety, sustainability, leadership, and the digitalization of the workforce, critical components for the future of tourism in the region. This partnership is a testament to our dedication to building a robust and resilient workforce capable of leading our industry forward while addressing the unique challenges of our region. I would also like to highlight the progress made with the Caribbean Contemporary Cuisine textbook. This project, developed with the support of the U.S. Meat Export Federation and the regional culinary experts, is poised to revolutionize education in the Caribbean by emphasizing the food heritage, traditions of our islands, and honoring its rich history. As we look ahead, the People Development Initiative is actively exploring partnerships with regional HR organizations and educational institutions. Our goal is to expand access to certification programs, resources, and tools that will support our members in building stronger, more resilient organizations. These discussions are progressing well, and we expect further updates by Q4 of 2024. Before I conclude, I would like to take this moment to offer heartfelt thanks to Nicola Madden-Gregg, our outgoing CHTA president. Nicola, your leadership has been nothing short of extraordinary, and your unwavering support for People Development Initiative has made an indelible impact. On behalf of the entire People Development Initiative, the committee, we say thank you. In my capacity as president of the St. Lucia Hospitality and Tourism Association, I want to extend our deepest gratitude for your commitment, vision, and the lasting legacy you've left behind. Today marks your last day in this role, but your influence will be felt for years to come. I would also like to warmly welcome our incoming CHTA President, Sanavnik Destang. We are confident that under your leadership, that the Caribbean Hotel and Tourism Association will continue to thrive, and we look forward to working with you in advancing the goals of this association and the region as a whole. Good morning, and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Paul. Is he online?
He is going through a cough, so I'm not sure if he's
No
able
problem.
to join us and speak, but yes.
Thank you for that lovely presentation, and thank you for the kudos. It was great working with you and the team also. All right, we move to unless we have any questions for people development. If not, we're going to move on to the Technology Task Force report.
Yes, thank you, everyone. I'm going to let the presentation do most of the talking, but good morning, and I just wanted to thank our Technology Task Force members, excuse me, many of whom are on the call. Christus, who, of course, was the main author of our CHTA AI guidebook, Brian Brooms, Jamal Griffith, Jeremy Jones, Lisa Hamilton, and Yatsuri Marshall. Thank you for your great work and making the time and allow me to bug you so much over the last year. And I also want to thank Kristen, who's done a great job assisting us from the Secretariat, Vanessa as well, and of course, Madam President, for having the vision to create this Technology Task Force and deciding to put me in charge of it, even if I wasn't quite sure exactly what we were getting ourselves into. We didn't know that AI was going to come and revolutionize everything in our world. So with that said, and on the note of AI, I'm going to allow the AI to do the presentation for us.
Welcome to the CHTA Technology Task Force Activity Report for January to August 2024. This period has been transformative for Caribbean tourism, and I'm here to guide you through the key achievements and their benefits to our members. First, let's set the stage. Established in 2021, the Technology Task Force aims to enhance technology adoption in the Caribbean hospitality and tourism industries. With AI revolutionizing business operations, we've been at the forefront of guiding our industry through this tech evolution. One of our standout initiatives was the AI webinar titled AI Horizons, Redefining Caribbean Hospitality and Tourism. Moderated by Sanavnik Destang and featuring experts Christus Gill and S. Omega Simmons, this webinar unpacked AI innovations, opportunities and challenges. Members gained valuable insights on how AI can transform their operations and improve guest experiences, keeping them competitive in a rapidly evolving market. Next, we developed and launched the Artificial Intelligence Transformation Guide for Caribbean Tourism. Authored by Christus Gill, this guidebook is the first of its kind released by a regional hotel association. It offers in-depth AI applications, prospects, and best practices. The extensive media coverage, with over 268 articles and nearly 180 million impressions, positioned CHTA and the Caribbean as tech-forward leaders in the global hospitality space. We also promoted crucial industry conferences like HITEC and the HSM AI Commercial Strategy Conference. By securing discounted registrations, we ensured our members access to cutting-edge insights, networking opportunities, and the latest hospitality technology innovations. Sanavnik Destang's appointment to the Corporate Digital Responsibility Task Force was another milestone. His role will ensure Caribbean interests are represented in developing AI usage guidelines in hospitality. Additionally, we promoted the Hospitality Code of Digital Responsibility Survey, ensuring our members' perspectives shape this important resource. In media exposure, Sanavnik Destang was featured in Travel Age West, discussing AI's impact on Caribbean tourism. This reinforced our region's leadership in technology and supported members in integrating innovative solutions. At the Caribbean Tourism Organization's State of the Industry Conference, Christus Gill spoke on the AI revolution in Caribbean travel. This further positioned CHTA as a leader in technology innovation. We initiated outreach for AI case studies in hospitality and tourism, receiving valuable responses that will be featured in the next edition of our AI guidebook. These real-world examples will help members enhance their operations through shared experiences. Lastly, we finalised a session for Chief 2024 titled Leveraging Digital Transformation to Enhance Caribbean Experiences. This session will focus on personalisation, authenticity and integrating local businesses into the tourism value chain, promoting sustainable tourism. In summary, the Technology Task Force's work from January to August 2024 has significantly supported the growth of the Caribbean hospitality and tourism industry. Through educational resources, partnerships and public relations efforts, we've helped CHTA members stay competitive, innovative and prepared for future challenges. Thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned for more updates as we continue to drive technological advancements in Caribbean tourism.
Thank you for the Technology Task Force. Thank you, Sanavni. Do you have any questions? No? Okay, we're going to move on to our affiliate partner updates. And we have first the Caribbean Alliance for Sustainable Tourism CAST. Frank is going to give us that update. And before we start the video, I would like to thank Kyle Mays, who was the chair of CAST and stepped down recently due to some personal issues, and just really appreciate everything that Kyle did for CAST during his tenure. Thank you again, Kyle. Okay, Frank?
Good day, I'm Frank Camito. I serve as Special Advisor to the Caribbean Alliance for Sustainable Tourism on behalf of CHTA, and I'm reporting on behalf of our acting chair, Caroline Trubetskoy. CAST had a very active year, but before I go into some of that, I'd like to recognize our outgoing CAST chairman, Kyle Mace. The Board of Trustees commended Chairman Kyle for his 3 years of service as CAST chair and outstanding work. He will remain a trustee. Fellow trustee Carolyn Trubetskoy is serving as acting chair in pending the replacement. So CAST had a very active year, and through the active engagement of our board of trustees and partners, CAST maintained a robust and high-profile program of work, which focused on strengthening the organization and broadening its representation and engagement, maintaining partner relationships, recognizing outstanding work being done by destinations and members in the region, broadening the awareness and participation of the industry and on matters related to sustainability, and adding value to their membership in CHTA, and certainly ensuring CAST and CHTA's relevance in the regional and global context. So some of the specific things that we've done this year, we pleased to announce that we've established a CAST website portal on CHTA's website, where we've cataloged a range of information, useful information for members on a range of topics from energy efficiency to coral reef management to just good best practices. We've basically conducted an assessment as well this year of the policy and regulatory environment, which helps to encourage reef management, coral reef management restoration. And we're actually wrapping that up right now with the view to roll it out to several countries who participated in detail in the development of those papers we've done on this. And they'll be used as we advocate for government for a better collaboration and a better environment for reef restoration and management, vital to the industry's future growth. We also had a very active year working with our partners, formalizing partners and expanding on our partners with groups like the Nature Conservancy, the Foundation for Environmental Education, Rewild and Flora and Fauna, and the Caribbean Biodiversity Fund. So we continue to work with them on a range of common ground areas. We participated in the Caribbean Tourism Organization's Sustainable Tourism Forum in Grenada, organized a workshop session there with CTO, and it was very well received on industry best practices on sustainable matters. Um, we organize and judge the chief awards for sustainability. I mentioned that earlier, and we're pleased to see that the recognition for the top resort participation in sustainable matters went to the True Blue Bay Resort in Grenada. In terms of adding additional value to the membership of CHTA, we're well engaged with the Rocky Mountain Institute on a solar energy program for hotels. It's being piloted in several countries, and we've had great receptivity to the two of the pilots that we're working with right now, and hope to expand on it. And more to come on that, but that's getting to a launch stage very soon. But we've been doing a lot of developmental work on that with destinations. We also have our newsletter called Cast Currents, which we've disseminated throughout the year, and we also support the preparation and dissemination of a quarterly report for the industry by the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology, forecasting climate and environmental expectations in a very real-time way. In terms of the Glasgow Agreement and the UN WTO, we adhere to their, as CAS, we adhere to their goals, and we submit an annual report of activities to the UN WTO, United Nations World Tourism Organization. I believe it has a new name, escapes my mind right now, but so we continue to report to them and receive information that's helpful for us. CAST and CHTR are submitting a proposal to the Caribbean Biodiversity Fund for a 3-year grant through their Advanced Circular Economy program called ACE, and we're working with a number of destinations and hotels to develop a project concept which engages the industry in waste management, responsible use of plastics, and recycling and reuse activities. This could be a major effort with major tools and resources that we can make available to members in the near future. Thank you so much. I want to thank as well our CAST trustees for their dedication and engagement. Each one of them have been engaged in some aspect of our work during the year, and without the volunteer support of members, and we would like to see more members come to the fore and become engaged with CAST. We're looking for some additional hotel trust and industry-related trustees. So anybody that's interested, please contact Vanessa and or myself, and we'll have a chat. Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you for that, Frank. Appreciate it. If we have no comments or any questions, we're going to move on to the next presentation, which is coming to us from the Education Foundation.
And that will be a video recording. Carly sends her apologies. She had to depart early at the meeting.
No problem.
Good morning, folks. If I may, Madam President, it would be remiss of me not to, since I'm traveling, but I just wish to reiterate a couple of things that Frank had mentioned. Let me see. No, I'm not. My video is not on, is it? I can turn it on but in the meantime, while I look for.
Oh, I think you muted yourself.
I wish to just say thank you to all my trustees who did a fabulous job over the last few years, supporting myself and of course CAST in all our endeavors. Really has been a tremendous experience. As you've heard, over the years, we've really accomplished quite a lot. There is definitely a lot more to be done. It's probably one of this area of sustainability, global warming, everything that goes along with it. Well, I should say climate change first, and then global warming and everything else that goes along with it. Must be high on the continue to be high on the priority. It is high, and so I encourage everybody to keep forging the way in these efforts. So, and thank you too, Madam President, as you step down, for all your support. Couldn't have done it without you, and of course, also Frank, who has been tremendous, especially in the last few months. And so, folks, it's actually it was a bit of a medical crisis that I was facing. I missed many of you at Marketplace, and you would have never missed. I don't think I've missed one in the last 10 years. So I did miss seeing a lot of you. It would again be remiss of me not to say in this forum, I'm now an advocate, but it is Prostate Awareness Month, and I'm encouraging all the gentlemen out there to ensure that you check your PSAs regularly. I dodged a bullet, as the saying goes, because I did, and hence my absence and subsequent recovery and so on and so forth. So I'm still around. Going to continue to be very involved with CAST, and I look forward to supporting the next our next chair. Thank you so much, folks. And Nicola.
Yes, dear. Thank you, Kyle. And I just want to say, really appreciate all that you have done. And to add to what Kyle said about prostate awareness, my dad died of prostate cancer, and it's very real to me and my family also. So yes, please take it seriously. So I would encourage you to get checked out. All right, thank you for that, team. Getting emotional here. Let us move to our next presentation, which is from the Education Foundation.
Hello, I'm Carolyn Trubetskoy, the chairperson of the Education Foundation of the CHTA, and it is my pleasure to give you a brief overview of our activities touching on our fundraising efforts, programs, and also our board composition. In recent weeks, we were focused on supporting those affected by Hurricane Beryl. We did so by launching a special auction supported by quite a number of hotels in the region. Thank you very much. And in addition, Hermitage Bay in Antigua sponsored a raffle, and there were also cash contributions that were donated via our website, chtaef.com. Combined, we were able to bring together 29,000 US. This was done in collaboration with the CHTA, and hopefully we can do some good with the funds that we were able to raise. Our regular annual CHTAEF auction takes place later in the fall, and please be prepared that we'll be out there again asking you for donations. We really appreciate all that you do for us. Here is an overview of our strategic partnerships. I want to thank all of our partners. In particular, I want to highlight the new partners being Classic Vacations, and also 3 dive wholesalers came to our strategic partnership portfolio: Dreamweaver Travel, Caradona, and Adventures. We thank, of course, everyone else on here: Interval, Santos Foundation, Basis Technologies, also Buguti and Tara Resorts, and our very own Shade Mountain, and of course, last but not least, Curtain Bluff. What do we do? First of all, you are aware of the scholarships and training programs that are out there that we facilitate. General scholarships that we have out there to develop the next generation of hospitality professionals have been awarded to 13 individuals from different islands. Then we have now, in its 3rd year, our Caribbean Professional Development Program for our managers and supervisors. And currently, we are supporting 16 candidates with Les Roches. More about scholarships and training programs. We will do some on-island training for line staff with focus on customer care and leadership training, and that will be in Aruba this year. Barbados has just happened, Cayman Islands, and St. Croix. There will also be a new online training component that we're just working out in partnership with FIU. I also want to highlight that there is 2 new tourism resilience scholarships. One is focused on training related to resilience building, sustainable and regenerative tourism principles, and destination stewardship. Then we also have a special fund that is going to make available marine health scholarships. And here we are looking for applications from anyone who sees their future in marine health, whether it's dive masters, dive instructors, or coral nursery management specialists, you name it. The fund is there to support these type of educational opportunities. And we also want to thank Curtin Bluff for sponsoring for the next 2 years an English language and internship program in Haiti, together with an organization called Nexus. And again, we are hoping also to find other locations for Haiti interns. They come from the Haiti École d'Hôtelier. So if you're interested in learning more, contact me or Tracy Bell, who is our program manager in this regard. This is our board of trustees. In particular, let me welcome to our board Patricia Afonso-Dutt, our most recent addition. And there also is Jim Heppel as a trustee, as well as Rachel Brown, who is just about completing her first year with us. We thank all of our trustees for this volunteer participation, and we couldn't do it without you. Thank you very much. This is the end of this presentation.
Thank you, Carolyn. Thank you for the Education Foundation and all the work with you, all the committee members. Okay, we are going to move on to the CHTA report, and we have that from Lisa.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to start off, first of all, as a group of association executives to our regional association executives. Thank you so much and congratulations, Vanessa, for taking on the leadership role. It's been a long time coming. We're so proud of you, and we're just excited to continue to work with you and the rest of the staff. So thank you very much for all you've done, and congratulations. This year, 14 association executives gathered for a group dinner during Marketplace in Jamaica. Congratulations, first of all, to our current Madam President for a fantastic event. Jamaica was fabulous. You did a great job. Although it was a casual gathering, we were always sharing challenges and best practices with each other. It also gave us a great opportunity to get to know the new CHTA staff members. I'd also like to thank Latonia Knowles. She is our CHTA liaison, and she's doing a great job of keeping us on track this year. So thank you, Latonia. Our goals for 2024, it's easy to put out 5 or 10 different things that you want to try to focus on because there's so much that we need to do. But we thought it was important to really hone in on 1 or 2 things that were of critical importance. And it's membership, whether it's membership for individual associations or membership growth within CHTA. And one of those action steps out of that was to strengthen the value to membership were destination visits. And as highlighted earlier briefly, but I'd like to dig down just a little bit in them. In March, there was a membership visit by Vanessa to the Grenada Hotel and Tourism Association. Some of the highlights were keynote presentation to the GHTA memberships, introduction of their new Minister of Tourism, and visits to 6 hotels, which led to 1 prospective new member. Opportunities there. And again, I'll highlight that a lot of these opportunities that come out of these destination visits are very similar to all of our destinations. So advocacy, support to the GHTA as in regards to concessions, business interruption and liability insurance. Insurance in general has come up again and again. So I know we have to weave back in with Frank and the advocacy committee to further strengthen actions on this area. There was discussions on affordable costs for environmental certifications, and discussions on contract with tour operators. And then in April, they were off to Turks and Caicos Hotel and Tourism Association. Some of the highlights there were, again, a presentation to their AGM. They connected with a new DMO, Experience TSI. They participated in the TCHTA board meeting, and they held brainstorming sessions on revenue opportunities, also visiting 6 hotels with a potential new member. And on the opportunity side of things, advocacy as it relates to crime and security issues and airport improvements, again, similar opportunities within other destinations, and as well as training for the luxury properties and certification courses on that end. And I'm for the balance of this year, the team will be in, Vanessa will be in Puerto Rico, Antigua and Barbuda, and hopefully, fingers crossed, she'll be able to make it over to visit with St. Croix. On that initiative also with Membership Drive is continuing to enhance the incentive programs for association executives, whether it's promoting CHTA meetings at events, attendance at events, where we've incented AEs with a potential free nights for them to attend the events, but also spreading the word and encouraging signups. And also rolling out CHT incentive programs to drive membership, such as the Jamaica pilot program that was mentioned by Bill earlier, which he has already shared has increased membership. And we're looking forward to looking at that pilot program and trying to roll that out in other destinations. Also, as Bill highlighted, we have been working with the CHTA membership committee to better understand the benefits of membership between each individual destination and CHTA, because as we know, not all associations are alike. So we put together a detailed survey of how each association operates as relates to board governance, AE's roles in their association, their mix of membership business. And again, understanding each of the individual hotel association needs are going to help us to offer specific benefits at the CHTA level that will fit those diverse association needs. Some of the other action items that were a little bit smaller, but not necessarily less significant, is creating an events calendar for all the regional and global annual events, putting it on a Google Drive so that it can be populated real time. And I'd like to thank Wib and his team in St. Martin for creating a template. We are going to customize that template between CHTA and the AEs so that it'll be easier for all of us planning events going forward. On the Education Foundation, there seemed to be some misunderstanding in the roles of CHTA EF and CHTA as it relates to some of the training. We held a couple of really important meetings on it, and I'm happy we were able to get over many of those hurdles. As Carolyn mentioned, we had trainings held in Aruba, Barbados, and Cayman. And they're going to be in St. Croix October 7th to 11th. So we're looking forward to bringing the Education Foundation down to train our employees. We will be having our CHTA retreat prior to Chief and Taste this year. We're having our group dinner on Saturday the 16th with full days of meetings on the 17th. And that will be led by the new leadership for CHI. As we have our elections, we will be holding our AGM in the next 2 weeks. The nominating committee met and the membership approved the appointment of our Vice President, Patrice Simon, with Antigua as president. It's a fantastic alignment with Antigua hosting the 2025 marketplace. And our secretary, Arlene Friday from Grenada, was appointed as VP. Both ladies have been very active with the CHI Executive Committee and will continue to do an amazing job representing CHI over the next 2 years. I would like to thank the EC, Patrice and Arlene, Stacy Cox with Turks and Caicos, Clarissa Jimenez with Puerto Rico, and the rest of the association executives for assisting me throughout the past 2 years in my presidency. It's been an honor to serve you all, and I look forward to continuing to work with CHTA on various committees, as I'm still extremely passionate about this organization. And last but certainly not least, on behalf of CHI, we'd like to thank Nicola for your leadership and for spearheading all the great initiatives that you so eloquently outlined in your report, taking CHTA to the next level. You're a fearless leader. We were blessed to have you, and thank you so much for all that you've done.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. And thank you too. We're both exiting at the same time. So you and I need to now have a cocktail, okay?
Yes, absolutely. Looking forward to it.
I appreciate all you have done as well, Lisa. You have been a powerhouse leader yourself, and CHI was also very happy and lucky to have you.
Thank you.
All right, we move on to our CTO presentation.
Good day, esteemed members of the CHTA Board of Directors. It's an honor to be with you today to share the remarkable achievements of the Caribbean Tourism Organization over the past year. First, I extend warm greetings from Honorable Ian Goodhin-Edgill, Ministerial Council Chair, and Andrea Franklin, Chairman of the Board of Directors. Thank you to our former chairmanship, the Cayman Islands, for the extensive work setting CTO on a solid foundation. During the past year, we have revitalized our key events, attracting hundreds of participants and creating invaluable industry connections. Highlights include the Human Resource Conference in Nevis, the Sustainable Tourism Conference in Grenada, Caribbean Week in New York, and the recent State of the Industry Conference in the Cayman Islands. Our communications efforts have soared, with an increase of 120% in social media engagements and twice as many news releases. We've also welcomed new members, diversified our revenue streams, and saw a notable 27% increase in revenue from non-governmental sources. We are excited to have Bermuda and the USVI back in our ranks, and our membership in good standing continues to grow. Beyond these numbers, we have launched the ambitious Reimagine Caribbean Tourism Initiative, setting the course for a sustainable and resilient future. We have completed our 2024.
Oops. We lost the video.
1 second.
Completed our 2024 budget and work plan with KPIs, organized our events calendar, re-established the Public Relations Council and the Airlift Committee, finalized our employee handbook, build relations with the CTO UK chapter, secured Youth Congress funding, and brought on essential personnel, including a communications agency, event coordinator, sustainable tourism consultant, and research director. We are committed to championing sustainability, empowering communities, and tackling the urgent challenges of climate change. The Caribbean's allure lies in its people, culture, and natural beauty. Our mission is to preserve these treasures for generations to come. The future of Caribbean tourism shines bright, and the CTO is proud to partner with the CHTA to lead the way. Thank you for your unwavering support. Together, we will elevate this extraordinary region to unprecedented heights. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna. And we look forward to our continued working relationship with the CTO. It has been fantastic, and it's definitely will continue. All right. We are now into the interesting part, the changing of the guard. So we have the appointment of an election officer and report of the nominating committee. Vanessa.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Nicola, for that. And on the screen, you will see here the report of the nominating committee, which was previously shared with the notice of the membership. A request for nominations was circulated for the positions of first to fifth vice president and treasurer, and this was distributed to the executive committee, board of directors, and NHTAs. We received several nominations, and following a review of the nominations, the nominating committee recommended to the executive committee, which then approved the individuals that you see listed on the screen. The committee also discussed the establishment of a bylaws review committee to facilitate and examine some flexibilities that would assist in more flexibility with board member eligibility. At this point, we would like to present the slate of officers to serve for the biennium of 2024 through 2026. First Vice President, Karen Witt, representing the Heartland Group in Turks and Caicos. Second Vice President, Craig Marshall, from Blue Diamond Resorts, Antigua and Barbuda. Third Vice President, Clifton Reeder, Palace Resorts, Jamaica. Fourth Vice President, Kendra Hopkins Stewart, Blue Horizons Garden Resort, Grenada. Fifth Vice President, Bill Clegg, BW Hotels, Member at Large, and Treasurer, Jim Heppel, Tourism Analytics, Aruba. As a note, allied members are permitted to be nominated and elected to the positions of Fifth Vice President and Treasurer. At this time, we will open the floor from any nominations from the floor. The bylaws allow for any nominations from the floor to be done by 5 members concurrent. If there are no nominations from the floor, then we will ask for a motion to accept the slate as presented.
Any nominations? Any nominations? Any nominations? Nominations closed. We would like to congratulate the team on your new slate of officers.
If we can get just, even though there were no nominations, if we can get a motion to approve the slate as presented and a second.
We have a motion, a first and a second, please. Can I first it and second it?
Yes, I can.
I'll first it. Who seconds it? Anybody?
We need a second.
I second.
In the motion.
I don't think you can second yourself.
I know. Robert, it's not.
Second. Second the motion.
Second the motion. All right. So we have our slate in place. Congratulations to the new slate of officers for our 2024-2026 biennium. You will do well, I am 100% sure. And you have all the challenges ahead of you, but also all the opportunities. So I personally just want to wish you all well as you go forward. Okay, Vanessa, back to you.
Yes, at this point, we appreciate everybody just sticking around with us just to complete this process. We are just to the final items on the agenda. And before we officially turn it over for the president's handover, Nicola, we want to take an opportunity to thank you for all of the commitment, the passion, and the devotion over the past 3 years. It has been 3 years. For sure, we know you're not going to be far behind, but really we are truly blessed to have had the opportunity of working with you in the capacity of president from the CHTA team here as well. We are greatly appreciative. So we just want to share a little thank you in advance. It is weird when we're virtual that, you know, there are certain things that we cannot do, but coming. Chief is coming in November, so we'll see you there. At this point, I'll ask the team to play a short video.
During COVID and the rallying that went on between the public and the private sector, between our national hotel associations and all of us to bring our Caribbean region past recovery into growth. As president of the CHTA, I want to see the Caribbean region not only grow but reach to the stratosphere in terms of Caribbean tourism. And I'm just honored to be among so many other persons who work so hard and tirelessly to see Caribbean tourism advance.
In normal circumstances, when we would be together, we would be standing up and applauding. So at this point, we would like to ask everyone if you can please turn your cameras. And thank you very much, Nicola, for all the hard work and for the legacy that you leave behind.
Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you, everyone. I have to applaud everyone else because, as you say, there is no I in team, and everyone worked hard to get us where we are today. So thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Love you all.
And now, in your last act as president, I believe you're setting us up for the transfer.
Yes, I
am.
The
gavel.
So I'm going to share a little video here. To hand us over. Prepare yourself, Stanovnik.
I'm not ready for it. Let's see the video.
So let's do it again, just for good measure. Sorry.
That's nice.
You got it?
I got it. I got it.
Where's your hand?
All right, I got it. Not going to drop it. That's for other countries. We don't drop the batons in the Caribbean.
No, we don't drop the baton. So we just had our official handing over of the presidency from Madden Greg to Desan. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And here we have the photo. Sorry, we're not in person, so I could give you a proper
I know.
hug.
I know. No, I'm looking forward to the
this
November.
image of us, so I thought this was the best one to share. And we're all cheering you on, Sanavnik, as we see in this little clip here. As we continue to grow CHTA, grow Caribbean tourism, it's over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. So good morning, everyone. Thanks for being patient and staying with us. I know we've gone a little bit past our time. I first would like to thank my CHTA, SLHTA, Bay Gardens, and my immediate family for the support that they've shown to me from the time I became president-elect many months ago. They say it takes a village, and I want to thank many of those who've encouraged and molded the CHTA baby from inception. Persons like Berthia, Caroline, Patricia, Nurani, Frank, Vanessa, and so many others. You've encouraged me from 2012 when I started my CHTA journey. And many of you somehow predicted that this day would come. And of course, you all remember my reaction back then when you said I'd be your president one day. I laughed and said, no way, it will never happen. But here we are now. I must, of course, give kudos to the previous presidents and the giants whose shoulders I stand on. In particular, I must pay special homage to Nicola for taking on the mantle of CHTA president at a very difficult time. Nicola, your advocacy during COVID, both in Jamaica and regionally, has provided examples of advocacy excellence for all of us to learn from. And I don't think it would be exaggeration or hyperbole to proclaim that if it wasn't for the tireless work of the CHTA under your guidance, many of us would have taken several more months to reopen safely. I hope that when we look back on the remarkable recovery of Caribbean tourism, which, if you remember, many people said it would take at least half a decade to take place, I hope history remembers the resiliency and determination shown by the CHTA under your guidance, as well as that of our sister HTAs in every island, working in conjunction with our partners at CARFA, the tourism boards, and of course, our governments. Of course, we know you didn't do it alone, and I must salute our now confirmed CEO, Vanessa. Let that settle in for a minute. Vanessa, we know you held down the secretariat almost single-handedly and provide sterling leadership as our acting CEO for 3 years. You worked financial and operational miracles during that time, and it's only fitting that you reach a pinnacle as our confirmed CEO, and might I add, our first female CEO, just 1 month before you celebrate your 25th anniversary of the organization. That's right, she started from birth. So, Vanessa, muchas felicidades y mucha suerte, Vanessa. Tienes nuestro apoyo. Now, Vanessa, I must do, as new president, give you my first directive. I checked on LinkedIn a few minutes ago, and it still says acting CEO. Vanessa, as I told you, as we spoke over the weekend, it's time to change that. As we say in St. Lucia Creole, chargez ça, right? Upa acting president, CEO or call Vanessa. It's time to change that. It's time to show that you are the CEO. And again, I hope I'm not being a little too forward by saying that the actual anniversary date is October the 13th. So please, on October the 13th, send her even more congratulations on her actual 25th anniversary to our new CEO. Thank you all once again for putting your faith in me and my generation. I'm being the CHTA's first president born in the 1980s, the start of the much talked about millennial generation. I understand fully the responsibility ahead of me, just as I did when I became the SLHTA's youngest president that they had at the time in 2016. Then as now, I'm ready to lead, but most importantly, when you take on roles like these, I'm ready to serve. Someone recently indicated to me that they serve at the pleasure of the president. That's after I became president-elect. And if you know me well and you know how I think, I know how it really works. And I know that it is I who will be serving you, the members, for the next 2 years. To my incoming executive committee, congratulations to you. And a special welcome to new committee members, persons who've not been on the executive committee, Craig, Clifton, and Kendra. We have a great foundation that's been laid for us by those who came before us, particularly our hardworking executive committee who just preceded us. But we also have a lot of work to do. As has been mentioned before, some of my key focus areas will be people, technology, and linkages to other economic sectors as well as to our communities, all of which will help us to continue to be seen as thought leaders at CHTA and strengthen our advocacy efforts, which will in turn address perhaps the largest issue that is facing us and our sister HTAs, that being membership growth. Folks, the landscape has changed. It's not relevant talking about what obtained before. There are now new opportunities with the alternative accommodation sector and allied members, while we continue to embrace our larger hotel brands. Bill, so these discussions that we've had before on membership growth are going to get more intense in the coming days and weeks, perhaps hours. Check your WhatsApp, Bill. You'll see already that we've gotten started. I'm looking forward to serving and to continuing the great work that was started by those before me, and hope that my exec team and my board will be patient with me as they embrace new ideas and perspectives, some of which might scare you at first when you listen to it, but just give it a chance. I might be the first president born in the 1980s, but I definitely am not going to be the last. And I know that Generation Y and Generation Z, represented by several of our young leaders on the call, will be watching. As I close, I ask for God's continued guidance over the CHTA and our new executive committee as we continue our mission to move Caribbean tourism forward. Thank you all. Thank you all for the well wishes, which I'm seeing in the group and on WhatsApp and elsewhere, and looking forward to continuing the great work that was started. I know I have some big shoes to fill, but I also know that the owner of those shoes is not too far behind, and looking forward again to serving and to being part of the CHTA journey. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Sanopnik. Yes, I won't be too far, but
not too far. I know where to find you. We know where to find you.
Yes, of course. Yes, you know.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. I think we are coming to the official end of our agenda for today, and just wishing all our members a happy rest of week. It was an absolute pleasure working with you all and serving you. I don't think we have any AOBs.
We actually do. Yes. Sanopnik, there's a few areas that he just would like to bring up forward as AOB.
Oh, yes. Thank you for that, Vanessa. And trust me, nothing that will take very long because I know I'm mindful of the time. So when we look at the bylaws, and I think I've mentioned it to a few of you, there are a few things that we are hoping to have a special meeting, hopefully before the end of this year, or if not, early next year, regarding some proposed changes to the bylaws. We are going to be setting up a committee to review them, but we really need to, I think, allow more flexibility in terms of where we can get members of the executive committee for the future. Currently, the bylaws only allow you to get executive committee members from among the existing board of directors. And we want to be able to look at expanding that perhaps to other members who may not necessarily be on the board of directors, because there's a huge talent pool out there and we want to be able to allow them to serve as well. And we also really want to look at how we can expand the number of allied members who have a seat at the table. I know we have several councils and so on that we've not activated as well, that would allow for more active membership and participation by allied members. But one of the first councils that I really would like to activate, and that council, the chair of that council would actually sit on the executive committee, is the Directors Emeritus Council, which really I think is also being called a Past President's Council. But the Directors Emeritus Council is one that I think was a great initiative and one that I'd like to see. I know we've got some former presidents on here, and you've all done great service for the association, and we would like to continue to benefit from your guidance and your counsel. So that's why we'd like to have this one done as soon as possible. And just two more things. I know we spoke a bit about the next marketplace and and even the previous one. So all of the good things that we had at the past marketplace, the responsible tourism day, hopefully the multi-destination farm trip as well. All of these we're hoping to be able to continue. The MICE was excellent. A new market even for my business personally. We do very well at Bay Gardens with the regional MICE, not so much with international. So it was a great initiative for us to be part of. But one of the things I'm very passionate about is technology and using technology to get bookings from all major sources and all distribution sources, including the direct source. So we are looking to introduce a full day focus on maximizing direct bookings. You could call it a Caribbean edition of the Direct Booking Summit. We've partnered with a few different, not institutions, but companies that are helping us to plan it. And in the coming weeks, we will have some more information, but that is something new. So persons who are looking to maximize business from the direct channel using digital marketing, we've got a lot more content for you, a full day of it, in fact. And also, of course, something that we've had in the marketplace in the past that we're looking to bring back is a linkages showcase. I don't necessarily know it was called that, but in effect, that's what it was. I've seen it in Jamaica, I've seen it in Bahamas and other places where you actually have a trade show component where you get to meet persons perhaps in the agro processing sector who are on islands and beyond to really deepen those linkages and to take advantage of that. You've got all the right decision makers there, you've got owners, you've got GMs. So it's a great opportunity to really expand marketplace and continue to make it even more relevant, building on the success of what we've done before. And lastly, I know last year we did our very first Caribbean Employee Pulse Survey, which was the first time the CHT had ever interviewed and done a survey of Caribbean employees, our people, to see how they feel about working in the industry. We are definitely going to be building on that because there's some great feedback that came from it. And I'm hoping, though, that we can get a bit more participation because the last time we did it, about 80% of the participants came from about 3 islands. And we really would like to have that, given our continued focus on people development, as Paul mentioned, and how critical they are to our success in Caribbean tourism. We definitely need to get a feel for the pulse of our employees and see how we can continue to be better employers in Caribbean tourism. So that really was some of the things I wanted to raise on the AOB. There's a lot more coming, but those are some things I thought that members may want to be aware of for the coming months. Anything I missed, Vanessa? All right. Thank you, Madam CEO.
I believe we have the floor open if there are any other business.
Not. I'll do my last official act. Adjournment. Thank you all. Have a good rest of day. Sanovnik, over to you. My last official act as president.
All right, thank you. I've got the baton.
Thank you, and be in the lookout for an email within the next 24 hours with the activity report, which would include a summary of the resources, tools, and any other information that we've shared throughout the meeting. So that will be circulated within the next 24 hours, along with committee reports. And as usual, if there is any other area of support that we can provide to you at the CHTA office, we are here to serve you. Membership at Caribbean Hotel and Tourism.com, and we really, really look forward to your continued engagement throughout the rest of the year and in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, have a good afternoon, everyone.
Thank you very much. Bye, guys. Bye, everyone.